It looks like she's praying right now with the namaste position.
Because I'm just like getting a taste for the air.
Okay. Whoa! Oh, no!
So this song goes to the very last pack of wet ones. Wet ones! Last one! My dad was an artist, more of an abstract artist, just like random curve. Like, what good is that gonna do? He also painted a picture of my mom's vagina, and it was hanging in our living room for my whole life, and I never knew until one of my friends, yo, that's a big painting of a vagina. I was like, no, it's not. It's my dad's art. He's like, no, it's a vagina. And then lo and behold, one night my dad and mom were arguing over the painting, who's gonna get in the divorce, and my mom's like, that's my vagina. And my dad's like, no, that's my vagina. And he had one that was a fish, and it was like a 3D fish.
Was your mom's vagina 3D?
Yes. So my mom's vagina was like this big. And then he also did this one that messed up my perception of eucalyptus. And I was like young when I started stand-up. I did my first set when I was 17. I had to have my mom sign a permission slip I created and signed myself. I'm not fucking telling my parents I'm doing stand-up. Are you crazy? They'll kick me out of the house. Like, I was sculpting at a toy company. This isn't enough. I'm helping somebody else's dream come true. I'm helping Angry Birds. I'm helping Barbie. I'm helping Monster High, Hot Wheels. But it doesn't really help me. I moved to Chicago. My first year in Chicago, I did 4 or 5 mics a week. My last year in Chicago, I did like 11 mics a week. I brought the violin into the picture because I heard a lot of people going up on stage and talking about how the only reason that they're there is because they don't have any other talents. And I kind of thought that was BS. And I'm like, well, I do have talents. Bringing the violin wasn't really a flex as much as it was to disturb the stand-up community. I felt like it was like the most punk rock thing I could do at the time. I was a disruptive violin player in my orchestra. On test day, I would come in like the prima donna, makeup, I would wear like my witch dress. It was about standing out. They're like, no, you don't have a point of view in orchestra.
I stole a woman's purse when we went to that party. When we go to Ohio, don't tell them I'm gay.
Just make a fucking album. So I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna make an album. And I just did it because of that. Ooh, do you want to play Barbies? We were like kids and we were playing Barbies. These other boys like playing on their dirt bikes. I was thinking instead of conforming to them, like they should come over here and play Barbies with us. And my friend was like, yeah, exactly. We thought, if we sensitize these boys, like, we're making a better world. We thought we were, like, creating gays. I had just lost my job as an ice sculptor. And then I lost my roommate. Wasn't really allowed to live with me anymore because his boyfriend, Stefan, was, like, my gay BFF, A-list Hollywood bear. Everybody thought we were a straight couple. Like, it was the perfect match. He left to go be with his true love. And I was just there by myself, and I was just kind of like, dude, party down. COVID happened. It was like the end of the world and the beginning of the world at the same time. It's like, how many years in a row can I go and make ice sculptures all day, come home, my arms are tired, drive an hour, maybe 2 hours to go to a show, and play the violin, okay, with my arm that is still thawing, and then get home at like midnight, and then get back up in the morning and do it all over again. All I want is, dude, my 5 minutes on Conan. I was kind of devastated when the pandemic hit, like, oh my God, everything I worked for, apparently it's all bullshit, it's all non-essential. I had to kind of get out of that frame of thinking. Comedy is essential for our mental. Stand-up should be like state mandated for like mental patients, like that are in the psych ward. Like, I think that there should be a person that helps people in the ward write stand-up. I was raised by my mom and dad as a unit. It's a very dysfunctional family. They didn't really act in points of courage. And I feel like maybe my courage came from them being afraid.
Do you have any fears then?
Because I knew this question was coming. I guess I'm just afraid of living in a fear-based society. I have kind of like a creepy old man cult following on my YouTube. Even when I'm pissed off and I'm uploading, they're like, we're sorry, funny, pretty lady, you're so beautiful to be upset, like shit like that. But I'm like, I can't be mad at them, like they're bald, they can't think any other way. You remind me of my wife, she just passed, like And they get real. And I'm like, oh my God. Now I gotta baby these old men. Now I gotta raise them. I gotta raise the internet. I don't know. I think what I want to tell the future is keep creating and humanity will be saved. It's what makes us absolutely human. There ain't koalas out there making shit. They're not making anything. Even the damn octopuses, and they got 8 arms. Moo moo. Yes, I can hear you. Hi. Yes, she's Moomy.
I was actually raised to not like cats.
Oh, well, what did your family tell you about cats that
That
made
they're
you
evil, they're nasty, that they scratch babies' eyeballs and...
Which they do.
Yeah,
but only the deserving ones. She scratches my eyeballs. She just loves to play. My dad works at an Air Force base. If I'm like, hey Dad, what do you think? Are aliens real? He'd be like, what are you talking about? No. I'm like, how much do they pay you to say that? To your own daughter. Stop lying. I think he might be afraid because when I go up on stage and I talk about him, I talk about aliens. And I talk about the fact that he denies their existence. And he don't like me talking about that stuff. He told me to quit talking about it. Why would he tell me to quit talking about it if there wasn't any aliens? I have an alien enthusiast following too.
Yeah.
And they want to talk to my dad. They don't give a fuck about me. What is your dad? Have you asked your dad? Have you asked your dad about the blue aliens, about the gray aliens? Have you talked to your dad about that? I'm like, Dude, I grew up with him. I feel like stand-up comedy kind of makes you and breaks you in a way. But I feel like a more broken human.
Right.
But that's not true. 'Cause I'm willing to come to terms with it, whereas everybody else is just pretending still. You're all just pretending everything is okay. I'm not being self-deprecating. I'm just telling the truth. I spent a bunch of my nights with other human beings who didn't feel good about themselves. Takes a toll on your psyche. It gives you a little edge, being around that much depression all the time. I can't do 3 minutes. I just can't do 3 minutes. It's not enough.
Nudist performance, 27 minutes.
Oh yeah. The first part where you accidentally see the little bit of my bush, I am reaching for the mic. And then years later, it has 500,000 views. I fully blame the bush. Sugar bush! I used to try to do violin tricks. I was gonna try to do it on stage. I don't feel like fucking up my violin for you fuckers. It's made with the hair of Britney Spears. I had somebody tell me that the violin is a crutch one time. And I'm like, dude, this is the hardest crutch of all time. Are you freaking kidding me? Bringing this on stage made me afraid, actually.
Really?
And that's why I did it too. Time for the fear. Wet one! There we go.
Yes.
Mariachi.